Hi everyone, welcome to another episode with the Pasta Queen and the Pasta Bro. So listen guys, I just noticed that, I didn't just notice, I know that I have this video and it just went viral on TikTok. Today, I'm going to make it for you on YouTube with all measurements and details to the last final little piece. Whoo! Yes! Ingredients. So I'm using peas today, and you can use them either frozen and cook them a little bit, or fresh. In Italy, the season for peas is May and June. You know, we're in July, so we're gonna squeeze them in. So anyways, this is a really special recipe because the pasta is gonna be cooked in the cream of peas sauce, straight in the pot. So let's go through the ingredients with you. 100 grams of peas per person. Then we have a quarter onion for 2 people. We're going to be using 30 grams of cheese total per person and 1 egg for a 2 people portion, okay? I'm gonna show you all in a minute, but you're gonna be so blown away. You're gonna need a scrunch of pepper, of course, okay? Let's get right into it. So, first thing first, extra virgin olive oil, about 3 tablespoons. Now we're gonna add the quarter onion. Scusa? Perché?
Perché la mezza quella?
E perché l'hai lasciata qua dentro?
L'avevo tagliata ormai.
You put half an onion in. Why are you doing this to me? For this recipe, you're gonna need a little side pot with some cooking water boiling because we're gonna be adding the water to the peas as they cook. So get your little pot of water next to you, boiling. We're going to have the onions and we're gonna stir fry them until they're nice and transparent. It's gonna be taking you about 10 minutes.
10 minutes
No.
diciamo.
Few minutes, no. Sono già passati 3 minuti. So let's just stir fry these onions for 3 Roman minutes.
That's an undefinable length of time, guys.
No, guys, we're gonna stir fry them until they're nice and transparent, but not burnt at all. They can't be brown. It will change the taste, okay? So one interesting, I don't know, little story about this recipe. I just really love it because it's a way to eat this nice vegetable, which is peas, which I love it because it's sweet and delicious in a way that will be even more flavorful. And I wanted to show it to you because it's got a very interesting technique of cooking. Okay, I got it.
Gli diamo fuoco un'altra volta.
Non gli stiamo a dar fuoco.
Va bene.
When I was born, I was doing totally fine, and then he came along and interrupted me. Oh, I said interrupted, and he interrupted me. Now, we're going to be adding 100 grams of peas per person. Let's go. For this recipe, I obviously couldn't find any fresh peas here because I just couldn't. I used these frozen peas and first let them defrost a little bit at a low flame in this little cube pot. Threw them right in, didn't need anything. Now add a generous amount of salt and a scrunch of black peppercorn. I like to freshly grind these peppercorns. So scrunch your pepper. And we're taking a generous amount of hot, boiling cooking water and we're adding it to the peas. You ready? Check this out. Whee! It needs to have the sound when it goes in, okay? So if you're not in the mood, just get in the mood.
Una zuppa stiamo a
Don't
fare.
interrupt me! And remember, the reason why we're adding a little bit of extra water before he interrupts me is because we're actually going to be blending the peas in a second. So stay tuned because you want to be seeing that. And we're going to be using this sauce of creamy peas to cook your pasta in it. As this is going on, I want to answer a couple of TikTok questions I had about this specific pasta. First one was, I find pecorino doesn't melt properly and has clumps. Is that bad pecorino or is that normal for pecorino to do that? Okay, so one thing that I always advise is to grate the pecorino ultra fine. It needs to be like a little fairy dust. So look, the pecorino is on the smallest setting for grating the cheese, just like desert sand. The peas have now been cooking for 50 minutes and we're ready to blend them. Let's go. We're putting most of the peas in the blender and just leaving a little bit. Okay? And now we blend them. Okay, once the peas are blended, all we do is put them through a strainer and make sure all the shells are left behind, and all we get back into the pot is the cream, a smooth, beautiful pea cream back in it, okay? So we're gonna get all the peas into the strainer, and now we start mixing it in so that we leave behind all the skins. We want the best, most creamiest, amazing sauce to go into the pan. These will take you probably a couple of minutes only. Just like mac and cheese is super creamy, we want our mac and peas to be even more creamy. I think this is a very important part because it makes the actual sauce perfect. Someone asked me if they could skip the blending and do it by hand and just mash the peas, but I think this is important because it keeps all the skin out of it and it makes it for a better, smoother finish. So, as you can see, now we got the cream of peas mixed in with some whole peas that we left in. At this point, I add a little bit of cooking water just to top it off, because in a minute we're gonna be putting our pasta in and we want enough water. So have your water next to you and add as needed, okay? Another question I had on the TikTok video for this pasta was, why is it that you put the pasta in the sauce and cook the pasta in it? Isn't it true that you have to always cook the pasta first in water? Yes, of course, that is the usual way we do things, but this is a special way to cook your pasta. We use the short pasta. It's called pasta risottata, which means it's cooked the same way that rice is cooked. So you put the rice in and then you add the water. We're doing the same thing. We're gonna put the pasta inside our cream sauce and add a little bit of water as we go. I really love this pasta. This is called tubetti, and it's always slow dried at low temperature. It's wonderful pasta, and it's gonna be really short, and it'll just give it that kind of like creamy finish, and I'm gonna show you, it's gonna be magical, just like you are. I'm pouring in about 120 grams of pasta per person. And now the fun begins. We start cooking it, and then you'll see it'll start doubling its size. But you see how you just keep it like this, and you have your pot right next to you, because you're gonna need some of the water and you're gonna have to really eyeball it. You're not gonna let it do its thing and walk away, okay? So this is the point where you are looking and you're keeping here, and you just keep stirring until the pasta
is perfectly cooked.
It's perfectly cooked.
This way of cooking the pasta, it actually tends to make the pasta stick a little bit more to the bottom of the pan.
Yes.
So you want to make sure you don't leave it too long there.
So you want to be stirring the pasta very often. Don't leave it for more than 2 minutes
Unattended.
Yeah, don't leave it for more than 2 minutes unattended, because it will start sticking to the bottom. So you need to be involved in this process.
It's like a marriage, guys. Like a marriage.
Like a marriage with your pasta.
Yeah.
Can't just let it do its thing. You gotta do stuff, you know? You gotta like take your girl out.
Yeah.
Give it a little bit of water Maybe sprinkle some cheese on it, you know? So you see what's happening? The pasta is now absorbed most of the water. You know, at this point you add a little bit of more cooking water so that it gives the pasta a chance to grow a little bit more, okay? And to finish its cooking. Okay, now let's salt it abundantly, just like you would if you're putting your pasta in the pasta water, okay? Remember that we're gonna be adding cheese in a minute, so you have to always be careful with the amount of salt you use, because obviously you're gonna add in the cheese. One of the cheeses we're using is pecorino and is a bit saltier, so just be careful with that. Wow, this pasta is so incredible, just like you are. Okay, obviously because you can't leave the pot, it is really good to have an assistant just like him to keep stirring it so that you can do some other stuff in between, you know what I'm saying? Checking your phone, doing your stuff.
Right.
Next question by John V. Leone. Mine came out a little pasty. Should I have added some water in the end to prevent that? Or was it too much egg? I personally think you should have added a little bit more water, and that's why you need an assistant, because that way if you just have to go to the restroom or whatever, he's always with his eyes on it and you can add enough water to make it the perfect creamy consistency. All right, now we add the 1 egg to the cheese and we whisk it together. Gonna get a nice cream. The pasta is 1 minute from being ready. Now we add the egg and cheese mix. It's just perfect. You finish off the last minute of cooking, mixing the egg and the cheese. The pasta is so hot that we'll cook the egg into a cream, but not scramble it. And this is what you do. You just mix it all in and it goes everywhere. And you're done.
Oh my God.
It smells delicious, guys. Let's plate it. Oh my God, it's so creamy. And that's really the biggest thing about this pasta is its creaminess. You want it nice and creamy. A scrunch of pepper. And you're ready to serve it just like this, guys. All right, guys, it's the moment we've all been waiting for. Let me just taste it. He's obviously already been doing it. Oh my God. It's amazing. So good. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be ending off a little sooner today because I gotta go and eat this while it's hot. I love you guys. Please follow us on TikTok. Link down below in the description. And keep rocking and stay gorgeous. Yes, baby. Woo!